What's new, Poke Crew? It's your turn, Crawbat here, and you're watching your turn Central. Now, before we get started, please make sure you are subscribed, comment, subscribe. Now, I'm bringing you another Oras Wi-Fi battle. I'm bringing you Wi-Fi battle against Isaiah. This was a great matchup that he and I had because it went on forever. But I'm just gonna kind of introduce my team real quick because this is a different team, and then I'll get right into the battle. I don't want to waste your guys' time. But I'm bringing in Uxie, my Miss Magius, my Durant, my Sceptile, Mega Sceptile, my Infernum, and my Hydreigon. Now this is a really interesting team that that I created because I wanted to try something different. I wanted to try and add some of my favorite pokes in there and just get some support as well. So he goes out into his Manchow when I go into my Uxie. Now, despite what people may think, I'm glad I did this. Even though he does get the fake out on me and get me to flinch, I am able to get my Stealth Rocks up and my Reflect. Now, many of you are probably thinking, you know, do you have a U-turn on Uxie? Answer: no, I don't. I don't even have Light Clay on Uxie. The reason why I don't have Light Clay is because I wanted to try something different. I wanted to put a Rocky Helmet on him. Now, a lot of you people will probably be saying, well, if you're gonna have Reflect, if you're gonna have the screens, then you can't really be too different because Light Clay should be the item on Uxie. That's all fine and dandy. I just wanted Rocky Helmet on it because I know that I'm going to need it in the future, and that I needed it in this battle because even with those physical attackers, they will get some damage from the Rocky Helmet. Now, I do get my Reflect up, and unfortunately this Umbreon does get a curse up, but it doesn't really matter all that much because I am going to be chipping away at him. Now, even though his attack does rise, he doesn't seem to be attacking me all that much. He does use the Wish, which is fine, because I'm going to switch that right here. I'm surprised he doesn't use Protect or anything, though, to get that Wish up, even though he's at full health, so I guess there's really no reason. I think he was expecting me to attack him, that's why. But he gets a foul play on my Miss Magius, unfortunately, but as you can see, my Miss Magius can kind of eat that up with my screen up anyways. And I do have the lefties on my Miss Magius because I would like to get some HP back when I'm using her. But I do get the Willow on the Umbreon, which is fantastic. Now, I knew, or I assumed this Umbreon was gonna know the ability Synchronize. And I really didn't want any of my other pokes to get burned or get, you know, para. I would rather my Miss Magius get burned, because I use her later on in the battle, and doesn't really hurt me all that much, because this Miss Magius puts in a ton of work in this battle. Now, luckily, I am getting the taunt here. Luckily, I predicted right for the Umbreon to use the Wish, because I'm sure by now it knows the Protect, and it protects Wish and everything, but I use the taunt because I really don't want this Umbreon getting any HP back. So while this Umbreon is kind of getting chipped away with the burn, I'm thinking, what should I do? Should I just stay in, or should I switch out? I'm not really sure what this Umbreon is going to do, but I'm going to switch out because I don't want to take another foul play. At this range, that Umbreon could possibly take me out. So I go into my Hydreigon because I want to just get some chip damage away on the Umbreon. Now, as you can see, the foul play does absolutely nothing to my Hydreigon. And that's fantastic because now I can just get some damage off on the Umbreon. Now, I'm sure all of you, if not some of you, are probably thinking, you know, why are you using U-turn? Why aren't you using like a Draco or a Surf or Fire Blast or anything like that? The reason why is because I wanted to get some initiative into this battle. I wanted to get some initiative onto my side. So I knew that if I U-turn, I could just go out into my Durant, and the foul play would do damage, but would not take me out. That crit, I felt like mattered. I could be wrong. I know that Umbreon's attack now is high, so it might not have mattered, but I go into my Durant nonetheless because I want to get Next Scissor off on the Umbreon and take him out. Now, luckily, it used a Wish after I missed the X Scissor. It used a Wish, and around this time I'm thinking, well, I'm sure by now it's just going to Protect. But fortunately for me, it doesn't use Protect, because I end up using the X Scissor and taking the Umbreon out right here, which is fantastic, because that Umbreon I did not want to stay in, because it had a curse up, it knew Wish, and it was just going to make for a bad time if I left him in. So, he goes on to his Manchow, and at this point in time, I'm thinking, should I just leave my Durant in, or should I switch him out? I'm gonna be using him later in the battle, so I'm gonna be needing him. So I switched out and going to my Miss Magius because I'm predicting a fake out. And luckily I predicted right because he does use the fake out, and unfortunately I do get burned more, causing my health to go down even more than it already was. But I don't want this Miss Magius to get a lot of fake outs on my team, so I switched out predicting a U-turn, or well, that's basically the only thing I can really do to me, pretty much. I wasn't expecting a poison jab at all. I was not expecting that. Luckily I switched out because I'm gonna need my Miss Magius later. But I switched out again because I don't want my Sceptile going down now either. So I go in my Durant when it uses the U-turn, and as you can see, it's not gonna do anything to my Durant. My Durant is part bug, and you can't really attack a bug with a bug and expect for some greatness to happen. So he goes out into his Scrafty. The hashtag needs belt. It does need a belt. I'm not sure what kind, possibly scarf or band. But you use Dragon Dance, so I'm not really sure what kind of scarf, what kind of belt you're gonna be putting on it. But he does have the citrus. That's really unfortunate because I do get the I think it was the X-Scissor. I wasn't really paying attention all that much. But I do attack it, and I do get him down where I can just attack it again, and it will, you know, die. But he takes me out with the Drain Punch, unfortunately. At this point, I was thinking, I don't want any of my other Pokemon taking an attack from a Scrafty who just used a Dragon Dance. So, I decided to switch out because like I said, I don't want any damage on any of my other Pokemon. So I go into my Wukong, my Infernape, because I know that I can just outspeed it. Even though the Scrafty did use Dragon Dance and gets his speed risen, I knew that my Infernape could just outspeed. So I switch into my Infernape, take him out with a close combat. Luckily, because that Scrafty did no Moxie, and that Scrafty just would have been the end of my team. So he goes out into his own Infernape, which is fantastic, because now we have the Battle of the Monkeys. And luckily for me, he does get some of these rock damage, but I switch out because I don't want to take any damage at this point from his Infernape. So I go out into my Uxie because I want to try and get a Reflect off, but most importantly, I want to get the T-Wave off on the Infernape because this Infernape is really fast. I mean, just compared to some of my pokes, this Infernape is really fast. So I want to get the T-Wave off and chip away at his health each time he goes for a physical attack on my Uxie, because like I had mentioned before, my Uxie does know the Rocky Helmet. So I do get the T-Wave off, which is fantastic because this Infernape isn't going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So I'm able to get my Reflect up, preventing him to take out my Uxie or any of my other pokes, because now my team's defense is high. So I switched out. And I'm thinking, who should I just go into? So I'm going to go into my Infernape because he is going to be using a Fire Punch, trying to chip away my Uxie, and luckily I switch out and go into my Infernape because you can't take a Fire Poke out with a Fire Poke, so it's going to be a bad time for you. He goes for a Mach Punch. I'm not really sure what he was expecting. He could have just switched out, but I'm not really sure what he wanted to do. But as you can see, his Infernape's health was really low because of each time he attacked my Uxie with the Rocky Helmet. So I take him out with a Thunder Punch. I didn't know if he was going to switch out or anything, so I decided to use the Thunder Punch because I wanted it just to be safe. I didn't want to use any attacks that his Infernape was resistant to, you know. So I switch out, predicting another fake out, and I am right. And at this point, I know that he doesn't really have too many Pokemon left. So, I'm just debating on if I should stay in or not. So I'm just gonna let him take me down right here. But luckily, the Reflect is still up, and I am able to get a Willow on the Regenerator Manchow. Now, I am so lucky that that Willow landed because I've had times where it didn't land. And I'm just so happy that the Reflect just didn't wear off, because I needed that Reflect. If that Reflect was not up, that Poison Jab would have taken me out. So I'm just super stoked that it worked out in my favor, where I could just burn the Manchow, because that's going to come in huge for me later. I used the T-Bolt just to dwindle down Manchow's health. He does take me out with a U-turn, which doesn't really matter too much, because my Miss Magius put in tons of work. And I'm super happy that she was able to do so. And he does not, you know, use the U-turn, so he's going to switch out as well. He goes out into his Dusclops. I can't talk today. He goes out into his Dusclops, and I'm gonna go out into my Uxie because I want to get the T-Wave off on the Dust Clasp, because even though this Dust Clasp is slow, I want to get it even slower, because I'm going to be needing that. So I do use the T-Wave, as you can see, and I'm thinking, should I just use my screens? What should I do? Use the Shadow Punch on my Uxie right here, leaving me with 7 HP. Look at that. Look at the power of Uxie. And luckily, I'm leaving my Uxie, and because this Ghost can hit me all he wants, he's just gonna get a lot of Rocky Helmet damage. Now, the smart play, which is what he does right here, is burn me instead of going for a physical attack, because this burn can just take me out right here. And that's, you know, it sucks my Uxie has gone down, but that Pokemon, man, put in a lot of work. But I go into my Sceptile, because I just want to get some chip away damage on this Ghost. I know that my Dragon Pulse that I'm about to use right here isn't going to really do much. None of my attacks can really do anything to this thing, so I want to just, you know, chip away at him, which is, it works out in my favor later on, as you'll be able to see. He uses the Shadow Punch and taking my Sceptile out, which is fine. My Sceptile did what I wanted it to do. I wanted to do some chip away damage on him. So I go into my Hydreigon. I want to try and take him out with a Draco, because he might not be able to take me out. He won't be able to take me out with any of his attacks. So from this range, I am able to take him out with a crit, with a Draco Meteor. Now, my special attack does fall once. And he's going to go into his Charizard, as you're going to see here. And after the rock damage, I'm assuming at this point, while I'm playing him, I was assuming, you know, a Draco was going to be enough power to take out the Charizard. And luckily, I was right. And luckily, he does Mega Evolve on the Charizard X, which means that Charizard is now part Dragon. So this Draco is going to do a lot of damage to this Charizard. And I just, you know, I was so thankful that it worked out in my favor, where this Charizard was in fact a Charizard X, because I'm not sure if my Draco would have taken it out if he was a Charizard Y. He goes out into his Manchester in his last Pokemon, getting some more of the damage from the rocks. Now, I don't want this Manchester to do anything to me, because I'm going to be needing him. Well, I don't really need him. This is actually the last scene that you'll be able to see right here. But he used the Manchow on my Infernape, and it doesn't do anything at all, as you'll be able to see. The reason why I switched out, though, was because my special attack fell twice. I didn't want to take the chance of my Hydreigon using like a Draco or whatever and not being able to take out the Manchow. I didn't want that to happen. So I did the safe play, and I switched out into my Infernape, because I know my Infernape was faster now that Manchow was burned, and I know that I knew that my Infernape was going to be able to take out the Manchow with any of my moves. So I was really, really happy how this battle played out, and I was really, really stoked that I won with this team, because I haven't really had tons of battles with this team. And I'm just, I'm stoked, I'm just happy, I'm excited, I'm thrilled that I was able to get a win off with this team. But if you guys liked this battle, then please make sure you Arceus, rate, comment, subscribe, and even if you're not a crew member, I still encourage you to Arceus, rate, comment, subscribe, because you'll be getting this battle, you'll be getting more of my other Wi-Fi battles, and maybe you and I can battle sometime, you know? It'll be fun. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Peace.